So for shows like The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, sometimes it feels like the writers think the best way to keep hold of their audience is to kill off a main character just suddenly and out of nowhere. Unfortunately, when that main character you kill off is one of the most interesting characters in the show, kind of feels like you might lose a lot of your audience there. What's up guys, Mason the Brock Anderson here, and this is Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 7, Damage from the Inside. So this one wasn't as bad as the last episode, however, I don't think it quite landed for me how I think they were hoping it would, because this whole story with Ed, I see what they're trying to go for with it. But I think the problem is the switch-ups with him are so sudden that I don't really feel like I connected with him at all. Like, he starts off very suspicious, and Alicia's trying to see what's going on, and then he stabs her in the neck with the thing that knocks her out. But then all of a sudden, he's a good guy, guys. He's fine. He's just a little worried about her, and he didn't want her to run, blah, blah, blah. But then all of a sudden, he's locking doors. He wants to keep them there. He doesn't want to let them leave, and he's evil. But it's because he was worried about him, and he wants to keep him safe like he couldn't do for his family, guys. It's fine. You can trust him. But then all of a sudden, you can't trust him. Now he's got him at gunpoint, and he's brought all the walkers in, and he's not going to let them leave. But then he's telling Alicia, don't worry, I'm going to be here. I'm going to give you guys time to run out and save yourselves. Don't worry. He's a good guy, guys. There's just too much of that. So that was kind of the biggest problem, because that was the biggest focus of this episode, was Ed's story. So because that didn't land, I think that did bring this episode down a lot for me. The stuff on the outside, looking at Strand, looking at Morgan, there is some intrigue there still. I think Morgan, we're seeing where he's trying not to let himself go too far. He was ready to essentially just turn Dakota in so he could get Grace back. And it takes Alicia standing up to him and going, no, we're going to leave. We're not going to go with you. For him to realize, wait, no, that's not the purpose of this. We need everybody together. So I do think that was a nice moment, because it shows that Morgan hasn't completely lost himself yet. He is still reasonable. And the stuff with Strand, I'm kind of intrigued. I don't know where they're going to go with it. Again, there is the part of me that's concerned, because the writing on the show is so bad, that they are just turning him into a bad guy again, and that he is just willing to work with Virginia because he wants that power. But I'm hoping that there's more to this. I'm hoping that he has some plan that he's cooking up. And the only way for him to get to this point is for him to cozy up with Virginia, tell her all the stuff that she wants to know, give her the truth, become her essential right-hand man. That's what I'm assuming is the plan here. Like I've said before, if they don't do that, then they've destroyed Victor's character again. But all I can do is sit here and hope that they've got something planned here. They've set this up well, and there's going to be some nice moment for Victor to step up and be the hero here. We do find out Morgan's the one that attacked the convoy in this episode, but he's not the one that went after Tanktown, so that group that's out there that's doing the whole the end is the beginning, still don't know much about them. I guess they're going to be more of a second half of the season threat. I can't imagine that Virginia's group is going to be the main threat for the rest of this season. It feels like our main group has already done a significant amount of damage to her people, and Morgan's already dealt several blows to her, so it kind of feels like she's on the way out. But with this other group, I still don't really know what to expect from it. I'm still worried it's just going to be another, oh guys, walkers, that's the strongest, we need to be like the walkers. And I will say I don't like what they're doing as far as Virginia's concerned with this other group, where they're almost making her seem like she's a good person because of what she's been through with this other group that's hunting her and her people down. But for me, that just doesn't make any sense, because she's already shown how awful she is. And so bringing in another group that's even worse than her doesn't suddenly make the audience go, oh, Virginia, we should work with her, guys, because she's not as bad as them. But it feels like that's what the writing is trying to do. So I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding that, but that's what it feels like they're showing me in some of these scenes with Virginia, and trying to make her seem softer and not as scary. It just seems like an odd choice, but whatever the case, that'll do it for this one, so on to the next episode. I'll see you there. And now episode 8, The Door. Well, I mean, might as well just go ahead and talk about it. This is the dumbest decision the show could have possibly made, because you just killed off one of your most interesting characters. Well, because he found out Dakota's the one that killed Cameron. Okay. And he wasn't going to do anything about it. Morgan also found out when he saw her knife, she didn't kill Morgan, because, oh, he has something he has to do while he's still... This is stupid. This decision to turn Dakota into I don't even know, a villain? I don't even know if you can call her a villain. She's somebody who wants Virginia dead, which so do most of our main characters, so why is she antagonizing them? Why is she shooting and killing John and threatening Morgan's life after she saved him? This just feels like it comes out of absolutely nowhere. And the thing is, this is now setting up either Dakota joins the group or Virginia is going to work with our group. Because they've already shown this other group that's out there that seems a lot more evil, Seems like they just want to kill everybody for some reason. They're already setting up for the possibility that, well, maybe Virginia's not that bad if they're even worse. And now you're throwing in the fact that Dakota wants Virginia dead. She wants Morgan to just go kill her, which makes her seem like the bad guy in this situation, which makes me think Morgan's not going to take Virginia out, and instead Dakota will get herself killed trying to kill Virginia, if I had to throw a guess out there, just based on how stories like this tend to go. But if that's not how this is going to go, if it's going to be where Dakota joins the group or something along those lines, you've already lost me. This is even more stupid than when Charlie joined the group after she just randomly shot Nick out of nowhere. You can't just have a character shoot one of your main characters and expect the audience to go, oh, they're joining the group now? Cool. Especially when you kill one of the most interesting characters in your show. You can't have the character who did that join the group later. So I don't think that's going to be what happens. But at the same time, I also can't see Virginia joining the group either. So none of this seems like it's going to work out, at least in a way that makes sense, in a way that's not going to piss me off. But even in this episode, we see so many moments with John where I'm just like, this is so interesting. We see how far he's fallen. We see how he's essentially just ready to go because he feels like he's going to hurt people in the process of trying not to be the person that he doesn't want to become. It's a very interesting story, and to see him turn it around, help Morgan and Dakota get through this barrage of walkers, it was really nice. So to have that sudden turn out of nowhere, it just feels like it's shocking for the purpose of being shocking. It doesn't serve any narrative purpose. If John sacrificed himself to help them for some reason, that has a narrative purpose. But having him realize Dakota's the one that killed Cameron, and then she shoots him because he figured it out, that doesn't make any sense at all, and it's just an abrupt stop on his story. I don't know how that makes any sense, other than maybe the actor was just done with the show, and so he had to go on to other things, and they were like, well, I guess we got to kill him off somehow, and couldn't think of a better way to do it than this. And also we could talk about how we got to this point, because once again, these walkers know how to play dead somehow, because they're just walking through all of the bodies, and all of a sudden Dakota gets startled by one that's just sitting there, is like, I'm dead, gotcha! It doesn't make any sense. But I've seen this happen so many times, not just in this one, but in The Walking Dead as well, so I can't sit here and go, oh, I've never seen this before. It's just a stupid cliche thing they do to try to have a jump scare, almost. But for me, it just absolutely destroys the momentum that this episode had. Because for most of it, I was enjoying it. I was having a good time. So to end on this note, it takes any goodwill that this episode built up away. They even have a moment where it seems like maybe he's going to somehow survive, which admittedly, if they'd done that, probably would have been even dumber, because it looked like he got shot in his vital organs, definitely in the lungs, if not his heart. So the fact that he managed to swim back up and climb onto a board, but then they just do that, I guess, to fake us out so June can find his body and he's a walker already. I don't know. I just don't understand this decision, and I feel like I'm a lot less interested in the show now. I think Morgan's still an interesting character, and I'm still excited to see where his story goes, but outside of him, there aren't really many characters that I'm excited to see more of. You know, Dwight and Sherry, I was kind of excited for that, and they sort of ruined that story by having Sherry be little bit of an idiot. But John, I think he was a great character. John and June were a good relationship that they set up. And now it's just gone in one episode because of Virginia's sister. Not even Virginia. If Virginia were the one that did that, okay, well, she's the main bad guy for this season, so it makes sense. But to have Dakota do it, it feels pointless. Yeah, finding out apparently Dakota's the one that went to the Gulch and saved Morgan's life feels kind of dumb. And first of all, we don't even actually see that scene. Feels like you would show us what happened. So just have her explain it and not show us any of those scenes. Do we just forget show don't tell? But it just doesn't add anything. I wasn't sure who it could possibly be. There's a part of me that wondered if maybe the end is the beginning people might have had something to do with saving him, and they were going to contact him at some point but just hadn't had a chance to yet. To have her be the one to do it, again, it just feels like an out of nowhere shock thing to be like, oh, audience, did you see this coming? And the problem is, if there's no build up to it, then that sudden shock doesn't actually have any weight. So personally, I'm just not really interested in this show anymore. It's really funny how that happens every single season. We start well, some intrigue. I want to see what's going to happen next. I'm focused. I want to see more. And then just somewhere along the way, it's like the writers don't know what to do next. And so they just start writing random shit. But anyway, I think that'll do it for me. So with all that being said, cue the outro. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that review. I hope you enjoyed it. First and foremost, please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I love having discussions with people, so whatever your thoughts were, whether you agree or disagree with me, please leave them down below. Obviously, no spoilers. Also, if you did find yourself enjoying this review and you want to see more, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I also have a gaming channel as well as a channel where I talk about soccer, so if you want to give those a follow as well, that would be much appreciated. And lastly, if you want to help me improve upon the quality of these channels, I do have a Patreon. All of this is in the description below. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace out.